The San Francisco Police Department arrived at 188 Buchanan Street to perform a second wellness check. Still no answer. So they break down the door. Inside, they find camping gear dumped near the entrance, takeout food half-eaten, and in the bathroom, a body. 26-year-old Suchir Balaji, former employee and whistleblower of one of the biggest AI companies in the world, OpenAI. Dead just 8 days after being named in a lawsuit against the company. It was ruled a suicide on the scene, no investigation necessary, but the more you dig into this case, the more questions it raises. Suchir was destined for great things. He made his own computer at just 13 years old. He was a finalist at the National Computing Olympiad at just 16. And in 2020, he graduated from UC Berkeley with a degree in computer science. Right out of college, he was recruited by OpenAI. At the time, OpenAI was a very different organization than what we know it as today. They were still a non-profit and preached safety and research first. They were widely unknown and didn't have any consumer products in the market. It was a perfect fit for someone with Suchir's ideals and skill set. He was tasked with training an LLM model, gathering data spanning all of human history and feeding it into this machine. What no one knew at the time was the work that he was doing was going to change the world in a profound way. The model he was helping to build was ChatGPT, what is now the most widely used AI product in the world. OpenAI co-founder John Schulman was quoted saying, "Suchir's contributions to this project were essential. Very few people experienced this level of success in their entire life. That's why it was a surprise to everyone when Suchir quit." Suchir saw things happening at OpenAI that he couldn't co-sign. He took issue with the way they were training the ChatGPT model on stolen work. So Suchir wrote an open letter to the AI community outlining fair use as it applies to training AI models. He detailed how OpenAI failed to meet those standards in every way. A bold public stance against the new titan of the emerging AI industry. The New York Times was already suing OpenAI for copyright infringement, and they named Suchir as a key witness in the case, the man who had built the very systems at the center of the lawsuit and had all the receipts. This posed an existential threat to OpenAI and the AI industry as a whole. But just 8 days after he was named in that court filing, Suchir was found dead in his apartment. The San Francisco medical examiner arrived at the apartment and spent 40 minutes before ruling it a suicide. This means no need for an investigation, but let's take a look at it anyways, starting with his last day. Suchir returned from a birthday trip to Catalina Island. He spent the weekend with his friends there, and they say he was in good spirits, making plans for the future. He even talked about working with Annie Altman, the sister of Sam Altman, who has an open lawsuit against Sam, alleging long-term childhood sexual abuse by her brother between 1997 and 2006. Suchir returns home from this trip, has a phone call with his dad, who wishes him a happy birthday, and they make plans to go to CES later that year. Later that day, Suchir is seen on the apartment CCTV picking up a DoorDash order, looking calm and normal. The footage is significant because that's the last time anybody saw Suchir. Interestingly, 3 other cameras in the apartment complex that night were disconnected. When Suchir's mom, Purnima, hadn't heard from him in a few days, she called the police to conduct a welfare check. She never heard back, so she called again the next day, and this time she headed to his apartment herself. The police were there when she arrived, but the apartment manager wouldn't allow her in the building, a strange protocol that would come into question later. After some time, an unmarked white van arrived, not an ambulance. She knew what that meant. In less than an hour, the medical examiner ruled it a suicide, case closed. Suchir's mother pleaded with them. He's a whistleblower. He wouldn't have taken his own life. The police seemed to agree initially that something was strange about the scene. The body cams on the first responders caught this conversation.
I think it was an accident.
Think it's an accident?
Mm-hmm. I could be wrong, but I think it looks like an accident.
He's dead?
Yeah. Most people, went this way.
Right.
All the ones I had, like 2 of them were.
Well, it's kind of awkward to do it the other way.
Yeah, and it was straight up right here.
Like right in the center?
Yes. Like he was looking right down the barrel.
It's understandable the first responders would be confused when you consider the scene they stepped into. a half-eaten meal by the computer, a mysterious USB stick in the back of the computer. When it was checked by the police, all the files were corrupted. A trash can knocked over in the bathroom. Blood in multiple rooms. His AirPods on the bathroom floor, along with a flosser. A chunk of hair wedged under the bathroom door. These are potential signs of a struggle, and this was just the beginning of the suspicious details inside apartment 404. After the police finish their investigation, the apartment complex manager approaches them to ensure Suchir's mother won't have access to the apartment.
But you guys are not going to release keys to the mother. I mean, I have keys right now, so you can't. But we don't want mom going in until we go in and we do hazmat.
She can go in if she wants.
Well, I can't lock the door first.
You can't stop her. You can't stop her.
This is very unusual behavior by the apartment manager, and he was fired soon after this incident. And now the Balaji family is suing the apartment complex, accusing them of aiding in a cover-up. Suchir's mother was relentless in her pursuit of justice for her son. She went on to hire an independent forensic expert to do their own investigation, and they found much more than that initial police report indicated. One of the things they uncovered was a missing section of the wall in the bathroom. SFPD said it was like that on the scene, but the private forensic went back and watched the body cam footage from the first responders and saw the wall was intact at the time. Was it tampered with in the window between the police investigation and when his family was finally given access to the apartment? Also on the scene was a Gatorade bottle. On the body cam footage, we see it was closed, half empty. By the time the family was allowed to conduct their investigation, the bottle was open, full of mold and ants. Potential evidence contaminated. Could something have been in that drink? The family continued to plead with the San Francisco chief medical examiner, but they confirmed the police ruling with the release of the autopsy report. Within it was a toxicology report that revealed some bombshell new details. Suchir had a blood alcohol level of 0.178. Friends and family say this was very out of character. He also had GHB in his system, a drug that can be used to sedate someone. When they searched his apartment, there were no signs of where this GHB or alcohol came from. If he was drinking in the apartment, there should be evidence of that. All this context makes the circumstances around the Gatorade that was tampered with even more suspicious. When Suchir's body was brought to the funeral home, they immediately told the Balaji family to seek a second autopsy. They believed his body told a conflicting story to the official reported cause of death. So they hired an independent pathologist, Joseph Cohen. He found much more than the official autopsy report did, including a contusion on the back of Suchir's head, suggesting he may have been struck before being shot. Also, his cheekbone was broken, and the bullet in Suchir's head revealed the gun was fired at a downward angle on his forehead. That is a highly unusual position for a suicide. A radiology scan of Suchir's head revealed a second mass in the middle of his head. Though it's possible this is the jacket from the initial bullet, the family believe this to be a second bullet. Suchir's family continues to fight for answers, but as of now, the case remains closed. After seeing all the evidence, there's only one conclusion to come to.
It looks like a suicide to me.